Hello and welcome to Rethink. Throughout this series, we've been exploring the future of the workplace, and I'm delighted today to be joined by Pip Wilkins, CEO at the British Franchise Association. Hi Pip, how are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us today. I wonder if we could start perhaps rather open, big question, but how has it been over the past 12 months for you at the BFA?
It's been really tough, if I'm honest. So, as an association, we've always been in offices, and partway through the pandemic, we have gone premiseless, if that's such a word, and lots of changes. So our biggest kind of cost areas are premises and staff. So like most businesses, had to consider how we could reduce costs to support the industry as a whole. So our role as an association is absolutely the support that we offer to our members. So for us, we've stepped up the volume of work, but done it with a lot less people.
Yes, absolutely. And you very naturally moved on to my second question then, which is how's the BFA supported your members and the franchising sector throughout such a turbulent time?
Yeah, so for us, we wanted to support, where some businesses, I think, took the decision, we'll sort of step away and slow down activity. We ramped up. So we produced guides right at the beginning to help with, government support packages, what they look like, how you can access them. We did wellbeing guides, and then we kind of threw the kitchen sink at different events and opportunities for people to get together. So using experts in the industry like yourselves, we ran weekly surgeries, we did weekly power hours. There were just an opportunity for people to get together, to understand and get used to some of the challenges, to hear success stories of how other people were kind of handling it. But the power hours for me have been brilliant, both personally and as a business. It was that opportunity for people just to connect and bring a question. And we're still running them weekly today. They've become sort of a really popular touch point. It's the highlight of my Thursday afternoon.
I think you're right, though, having that safe space where you can share, learn, it's crucial, particularly in a time when people just really want to stay connected and keep that communication open. I'm sure that providing that for your members has been a really valuable over the last 12 months, as it is anyway.
Sorry, for us as the leading educator, we wanted to make sure that people had access basically to the right advice at the right time. So, all of the different things that we did and PR campaigns, events, everything we did at a subsidised rate to make sure that there wasn't any barriers to people kind of getting involved.
No, absolutely. And how do you think that the lockdown has affected customer service in general? Do you think that there's a need for the franchising sector to adapt?
I think it's improved it. I did a presentation and I said, the thing that had impressed me most about franchising in the last 12 months was that strengthening of relationships, whether that was sort of franchisor to franchisee or franchisee to customer. We've seen franchisors that have gone above and beyond. They can't trade, but they're still looking at how they can work with their customers to keep their brand at the forefront. So it was all about brand consistency. But as part of that, they just went the extra mile for their customers in delivering new things. So I think it's brought to the forefront that actually the service that you offer to the customer, that end user, is more important than ever before.
Absolutely. And what do you think the midterm effect will be for franchising? Do you think more people will buy into a franchise as a direct result of the pandemic and the lockdowns?
Yeah, I think, where the furlough scheme's been in place for so long, I think there'll be a lot of people that have had time on their hands to look at what their future looks like. We've all had that chance, haven't we, to self-reflect, to have a look in the mirror and be, what do I really want to be when I grow up? And I think franchising gives people that opportunity to be in control of their own destiny, but to do something for themselves, but not by themselves. I know it's a bit of a cliche and we talk about it in franchising all of the time, but you don't need that idea. You just need a passion to do what it is you're going to do every day. And because franchising is so broad, there's so many opportunities that people can explore that could be right for their future. We're already seeing uplifts in people coming on to, we've got buyer franchise seminars and prospective franchisee certificates that are all about people going along to find out whether franchising is right for them, to assess whether it fits with their family needs, financials, all of that sort of stuff. And we're seeing more people coming through those. So absolutely, I think it's going to be a definite way of the future for a lot of people.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. And what advice do you give to, say, franchisors that are looking to create that consistency across their brand?
For me, that's what franchising is all about. It's having brand consistency. It's a proven business model with the support infrastructure. If you've got a business and you're looking to franchise it now, the thing for me is take the right advice. It's due diligence, and it's making sure that if you're structuring a franchise, you do it in the right way at the beginning. Unfortunately, we do see people that franchise their business using the wrong advisors. And it means that when they kind of cross paths with the BFA and we start talking to them about what proper ethical business format franchising is, they have to start again. So for me, get the right advice right at the beginning. The legal agreement is one of the most important documents. You need a solicitor that understands franchising. You need to talk to a franchise consultant that's accredited by the BFA. We run the rule over them in the same way that we do for franchisors wanting to use our brand in the marketplace.
Absolutely. And doing that research and putting that time in and up front will save all of that in the long run.
Absolutely.
And finally, a question I ask all of my guests: what's your biggest rethink lesson from the past 12 months?
I was thinking about this, and I have two. I never like to have just one. So one is the premises side of things for the association. We have traditionally for more than 40 years been in premises. And I think for me, there was this kind of, oh my God, do we actually really need to spend that money on a building? We are effectively working from home. We've been chatting to you, as you know, about different ways to make that more effective. And I think there's always improvements to be made. Don't get me wrong, remote working hasn't come without its challenges. But, the savings that we would make as a business and the money that we could then reinvest into services for our members is a big rethink for me, but it's still an ongoing rethink.
Yes.
But the most important one was about inclusivity. As a BFA, yes, we are a membership body, but we absolutely, for me, the look in the mirror was we have an obligation to help everybody that's within the franchising sector. So making the BFA much more inclusive and accessible over the last 12 months has been the big change for us. We've gone down the route of new affordability programs to help smaller franchises into the BFA, because we were seen as the big boys club, and that is not what we're about. Our why is standards. 100% people need to go through an accreditation process, but we do that in a partnership approach. We want to help people meet the standards and work with them in a really positive and nice way that isn't unthreatening, or it's something we're actually really nice people, and it's getting that message across that the BFA is a human touch. We are absolutely here to support the industry as a whole. We also made franchisee membership something free. So anyone that joins the BFA now from a franchisor perspective, it means that their network of franchisees can get involved, because as an association, we represent all stakeholders, franchisors, franchisees, and our professional affiliates and suppliers. So absolutely, inclusivity and strengthening of relationships with our members, getting more into the nitty-gritty of what people are doing every day and being a human, I think was my biggest rethink.
That's fantastic. It's really nice to hear that there's some positives to take from such a hard time. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Pip. I've really enjoyed chatting to you today. So thanks again for joining us.
And, me too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure. I'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you. You too.